Okay, so it's telling me that we're live and on the air. I've started a few minutes early, so there's a couple things I need to do. Okay, I've invited the people in my circles, and I sent out the one direct invitation I need to send out. The second one I really don't need to send out because I'm fairly sure she's in bed right now. So in merry old England. So this is part B of our Freedom Hangout, which I started Friday, and it actually went pretty good. Uh, no trolls this time. I think I may have had a possible troll attack. Uh, a gentleman asked to come into the hangout, and nobody could vouch for him. No one knew him in the hangout. So at that point, I offered him an opportunity to come in to the hangout and be silent and invisible. Which, if you go to your, there's an icon. It's blue with a wrench in it, and it says cameraman. And when you open it up, it says, as guests join, hide their audio and video from my broadcast. You can hit yes. Broadcast the large video that I see to my audience and hide the other video feeds. You can hit yes to that. That blocks any kind of pornography. And then the third one, I don't quite understand. It says new guests in my large 3+ broadcasts are muted when they join. I have no idea what that means, but the first two can be very, very helpful, I'm guessing. So, or at least they were for me on Friday. Okay, so and then I want to give a shout out to a young man named Dell who is from England and who is a member of the mental health communities. His channel is called Dell Channel, and he's done some legwork and done some research on how the trolls are actually attacking us and how they do it. I only had a brief opportunity to do some research. We had a power outage this afternoon from 4:30 to 6 o'clock this evening, and so I thought maybe I wasn't going to get to have this hangout, but the power's back on, so I'm here. I'm here till the power goes out. Hopefully it's fixed for good. But anyway, there's a couple of sites. The one that Dale found is called raidforums.com, and they are set up to SWAT people, which is to call law enforcement and file false reports on people. They are also set up to spread child pornography. How you like them apples? Raid Forum. They do something called there's something I think is related to raid forums, which I'm not, I haven't had a chance to research, but something called Twitch raids, and these are people that raid people's games. You know, people that are playing online games, they raid them and distract the games and do prank calls and I don't know what all. But it's very, very professional in how they operate. They set up teams and they have contests and you can win prizes and I don't know what all, depending on how many hangouts or how many disruptions you cause. So it's very, very disturbing, and hopefully Google Hangouts and YouTube can get a handle on this. And if they are breaking the law, and I think they are, we can get them shut down for good. But until that happens, the protocols that I've instituted seem to be enough. And I'm not going to go through the whole list again, but and like I did last time, I'm not going to post a link for about 15 or 20 minutes or whatever. And Dell said if they can't get to the hangout, they go to the next hangout or whatever. So maybe keeping the hangouts closed for 15 to 20 minutes is enough to prevent an attack. I suspect it's not. I suspect they have scouts from the various teams going through all the hangouts to see which one's open, which one's not open, or whatever. But I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong on that. I hope Dell's right. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. So the other thing I've done is I'm not going to allow comments. I'm going to have to approve the comments. I think on my future hangouts or whatever. So that's just a couple of things. Housekeeping. I always like to let people know that we don't do judgment here. We don't do therapy here. We share respect with each other. I can speak sometimes. We use I statements, and we try to keep everything PG. So having said that, I hope everybody is having a nice 4th of July weekend. I was watching the news this morning, and it was very, very disturbing. One family had a picture taken on a deck, and there must have been 20 or 25 people on the deck, and the deck collapsed or whatever. So I told my dad, family pictures will be in the yard from here on out. And then, which is not really funny. I mean, some people were really hurt by that. And then on the Ohio River, 20 or so people were in a pontoon boat, which sounds like it might be too much for a pontoon boat, depending on the size. And it overturned. Of course, it was dark when it was overturned. I'm sure alcohol was involved, and they fished 18 people out of the water alive, and the last 2 people they fished out were unfortunately deceased. So, you know, water and alcohol and fireworks sometimes don't go together all that well. So I'm going to see if I can't drum up some support, see if anything's going on the YouTube side. Okay. I need to refresh my YouTube page. Okay, there I are. So the Google page is refreshed and muted. I need to refresh my Google Plus page as well. Okay, and there I are as well. Okay. If nobody shows up, we're probably going to shut this Hangout down in about a half hour. Okay, still no comments, no comments, no comments, no comments. Okay. Okay. It says I've got 1 viewer, but that may be me since that page is open. Okay. But we were talking about freedom on Friday, Independence Day being the day the United States celebrates its freedom, not only from Great Britain, but freedom in general. We claim to be one of the freest nation on the planet or whatever, and you can argue that either way. And I think we enjoy a great deal of freedom in this country, and I'd like to see that freedom spread all over the world. So many people want to come to the United States, and we can't let them all in. But I'd like to think that we can spread freedom to everyone who wants it. You know, you can't force freedom down people's throats or whatever. But if they want it, I would like to certainly see it encouraged and spread around the world or whatever. So, um, and then just something else before I came in, I had a chance to watch just 4 minutes of a 15-minute video. So obviously that's less than a third of the video. But a young lady was talking about how these hangouts have gotten negative, and for the part I've played in that negativity, I just want to apologize. She said that people, with social anxiety and DID and other uh, mental disorders don't necessarily like to come to a hangout, but they do like to watch them, pardon me, after the hangout is over. And there's negative. There's lots of reasons for the negativity. There's uh, what's the word I'm looking for? The President of the United States takes an oath of office to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. The Vice President of the United States takes an oath of office to defend the United States against its enemies, foreign and domestic. And that's the rub. The hangouts have been attacked from without by by an organized gang of raiders and trolls and invaders and I don't know what all. So that's one reason everybody's walking on eggshells, because that's negativity from the outside, and then the other thing is that sometimes we have negativity from the inside, and I've tried my best to minimize that. I've made the decision to block a couple of people, not because they're negative or I'm negative or whatever, but just because we don't match. We don't mesh. Not everything is for everybody, and not everybody is for everybody. So you have to pick and choose who your friends are, and which hangouts you're comfortable in, and which hangouts you're not comfortable in. So I made it's a tough decision. I wish these two people well. I wish them nothing but the best and success in their hangouts. I used to be a Baptist, and the saying in the Baptist church was that we split like fine wood. So if you can't get along with somebody, you split and go off and form your own group. And so that's kind of what I've done. I would imagine a lot of people are on the road. Let me check my Google Plus page to see if anything's going on there. Okay, I don't see anything going on there. But while I'm waiting for people, I think what I might be able to do is do a screen share of the RAID forums. Oh, and they have lots of rules and lots of advice for how to do this and how to join a team, and what to do when you join the team, and what not to do or whatever, so that can't get caught or anything. So let me see if I can screen share that. If the trolls come in, I'm going to jam them with an Elvis Presley song called "Walk a Mile in My Shoes," which I like. I'll close that down for now, and we'll open up. And I'll just see if I can't get the, it says raid forums, join the raiding community, a community of thieves and scoundrels, if you ask me, but okay, and they're, okay, they don't have much of a homepage, but I will I will show you guys what they look like. And this will give me an opportunity to test out. I wonder if the person watching is, they're just waiting for me to make this Hangout public so they can come in or whatever. I, in my mind, I'm very popular. Okay, I don't know how good this is going to be. Like I say, they don't have a very snazzy. I've made my selection. And I have to go to I think there's about a 45-second delay before actually will come up on the YouTube feed or whatever. So bear with me. Okay, well, it's just a very, very basic red and gray uh, Hangout. Their very, very first thing is news and rules, and their second thing is support. And need help with something? We'll help you. So, okay, so that's enough of that. Okay, that's enough of that. That's enough of free advertising for them. But that's what it looks like. So, and like I say, they're pretty professionally organized or whatever. And hopefully Google is aware of them and YouTube is aware of them. And I will pull back up my Elvis. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. And have that ready. So, okay, nothing on the Google Plus page. So, now when you open up the screen share, you can set it up to where you block everybody else, which is what I would have to do if I was invaded by a troll. So, and I guess you could capture their image, but you really wouldn't need to do that. The control room, you can control people's volumes and their camera. And then if someone were actually in the room with me, I could run my cursor over their avatar and it'd give me a list of things. I need to check and see right fast if ejecting someone is the same thing as blocking someone, because someone said you could block somebody, but the only thing I could find was says hide from broadcast, present to everybody, profile on mute. So, but that's me. So I may only be able to do certain things. I certainly couldn't block myself. So let me do some instant research right fast. know how to eject people. So okay, right now I've gone to the Google Helps page, Hangouts help, block or ignore somebody. If you don't feel comfortable in a hangout with someone, you can block them. When you block someone in Hangouts, the person will also be blocking certain other Google products, including Google Plus and Google Chat in Gmail. So that's good to know. If you block someone in a Hangout, you block them everywhere else. Okay. Okay. At the top right of the Hangout window, click the gear icon. Click block user. Click block. Okay, I bet you it only works if I have someone to hang out with me. Okay. This may be some old information because I'm not finding this when I do it. It says to ignore or block someone in a video call, hover over the person's video feed or image on the bottom of the screen, and you'll see the option to mute or block the person. I don't see that. It says click the block icon. The person will automatically be ignored for the duration of the hangout. You won't be able to see, hear, or interact with each other for the rest of the hangout. If you ignored the person accidentally, click undo. See, I don't see that. I don't see that I didn't see that Friday. If you want to permanently block someone, select the checkbox next to permanently block someone. See, now I don't see that either. I don't see that either. So, and it doesn't answer my question. You know, blocking is the same thing as ejecting. So that must be some old information. I'm hoping, see, I don't even, okay, here's the gearbox. Okay. Hey, Blue, how's it going?
I came to have a discussion with you, Marvin.
Okay.
Uh, One of the reasons maybe some people are not showing up is they're a little disappointed in you, Marvin. I think what you did with Carolyn and Jessica was wrong. Uh, you do understand Carolyn was not the only one that shared your video.
I realize it now. And I've fixed it to where no one can share my videos.
Well, and no, I don't take the position it was your fault that you were attacked. It wasn't your fault. Maybe you were a little slow in dealing with it. As a moderator, you should have been more informed, but I don't think it was your fault that you got attacked. Apparently, these people go around attacking everybody. But think of it this way: the FBI are now onto these people.
Okay.
They attacked a hangout, and one or several of their members actually put up child pornography. So they're
Yeah.
on the FBI's radar list now. And
Okay.
plus,
Okay.
they called from inside one of their hangouts. Somebody pulled a prank and called the FBI.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what they call swatting or whatever. Yeah.
So now the FBI has them on their radar, and these people need to watch out because they're going to be looking for them,
Yeah.
especially the ones showing child pornography. We can all agree that's wrong. But
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
to Carolyn and Jessica, I can understand you having difficulties with Carolyn. You don't mix. But why pick on Jessica? She had nothing to do with what happened. She was
Uh,
hurt, and I don't blame her. She's always supported you, Marvin. She didn't take sides with Carolyn. She just doesn't understand why you did what you did to her, man. And that wasn't fair, singling her out for somebody else's action. That would be like you single me out for the people coming in and trolling you. Would that be right?
no, it wouldn't be right. And I'm not sure this is the appropriate time to address these issues. But
When is the appropriate time, Marvin?
well, the way I feel about it is a lot of times they're a couple, so it's like a package deal the way I see it. They're both in the room at the same time or whatever, and I'm not trying to be negative. I don't think Carolyn bears me any ill will, and I certainly don't bear her any ill will. But when you're called stupid and when you're told to f off or whatever, you know. But I wish them well. Like I said earlier, I wish them well in their hangouts, and it's just some people. Not everybody's for everybody, and some people I can get along with, and some people I can't, or whatever. So I'm not going to beat my head against the wall anymore. Like I say, the internet's a big place. They can have their hangouts, and I can have my hangouts or whatever.
And that's fine, but to blame somebody else for others' behavior is not right. And Marvin, to be honest with you, I'm you've done the same kind of stuff with me. I try, and I've gotten into you about it, and you made me trigger.
Yeah,
And maybe it was inappropriate what I said to you. But here's the issue. Sometimes you may not be aware of it, Marvin, but you single people out for no apparent reason at all. That no others, we've talked about it. We can't understand why you're singling us out. I don't know if you don't like us or we've said something that has triggered you,
that
or
very that very well may be. I'm sure I trigger
I understand your
something.
problem with me with Destiny is you felt I had triggered Destiny, whether you want to admit it up front or not, but that's what you thought. I didn't trigger Destiny. Triggers happen for no reason at all, Marvin. Sometimes there's no if, when, or why it happens. It just happens. It can be a word, it can be a sound, it can be a suggestion, real innocent things will
Yeah,
trigger people. And I think you held me responsible for Destiny's trigger when I tried to point out when we come on these hangouts, we're responsible for our trigger because ultimately, who can keep us from triggering? Only us. And who can ultimately, Marvin, who can deal with a trigger? Is you can't, if I trigger, can you stop me from triggering?
not from here. I can't. That's for sure.
Yeah, you have no control of it. And that was the point I
Yeah,
always trying to point out to you is that
yeah,
we have no control over others on here or what triggers them. And I'm not going to take the position as some have said that you don't have DID or some aspect of DID. I'm not going to say that because I don't know you personally. I don't know your
yeah.
medical history, and I don't expect you to put it up on public in the public to prove to anything to anybody. But once again, we can't always know what's going to trigger you, Marvin.
That's certainly true, and that's one reason why I've kind of gotten away from having DID hangouts because I don't have full blown DID, and I'm finding it very very difficult to understand all the ramifications of the disorder or whatever. So that's why I've kind of gone away from. I do feel like I'm on the spectrum, but I don't have it to the degree that some others in the community have it or whatever. So, and listen, sometimes I move slow, and sometimes I move too fast, and I think I did that with you, and so I want to apologize for that.
And
And
I'm not trying to put you down, Marvin, or anything or make you feel bad, but I would like you to, hey, we understand some people don't miss, but I think what you did to Jessica is wrong because ultimately, Marvin, she has lent her support to you in the community. And I think, holding her responsible for what you feel is an attack for somebody else, I mean, that's not adult, dude. That's kind of childish. That's what children do. We're supposed to be, sure, we have aspects that are children, but we're supposed to be adults here. Let's act like adults and let's have some real healing here. And I think holding both of you, all Jessica asked is, Marvin, come talk to me. I don't think that was unreasonable. I don't think that was unreasonable.
no, it's probably not unreasonable.
You know, she's trying to hold out an olive branch, whether you might take it a little, how I want to use the right word. Maybe it's not with the tact that you feel is being handed out, but she just tried to hold out an olive branch to you to, hey, Marvin, come talk to me, man. Let's work through this as adults. You know, I know you have a problem with Carolyn, but doesn't mean I did anything wrong. And I can understand that position. And I understand your position that you want to keep your hangouts in a certain level of decorum. There's nothing wrong with that, Marvin. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I think sometimes you're jumping to conclusions before all the facts are actually in. Did you get mad at Jamie because she shared your video that you had problems with, or the others?
Well, see, there again, you know, I was in a state of shock. I couldn't believe that it had happened. And so I got a notification that said someone had shared the video publicly. Well, I forgot that that's the notification I get whenever anyone shares something, and we do it automatically. So that's why I've had to disable the comments. I have to approve the comments now on my Hangouts, and for that I'm terribly sorry. I did jump the gun.
You realize that Carolyn, Jessica, and the rest of them weren't trying to defame you or make you feel bad. They were actually in support of what was happening to you was wrong. That's the way I took it. I mean, you might took it different, but the way we took it, they were supporting you. That what was happening to you, Marvin, and others on Hangouts is simply not acceptable. And I think you need to go back and reevaluate, reanalyze it, and, you know, hey, show a little compassion to others that may have misunderstood your motives also, as you would expect them to show compassion to you.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to figure out how I invite one member of a couple to my house for a barbecue when I have a problem with the other member of the couple. I just don't see how you can do
I have
that.
some in-laws that I don't like, but I like their spouses, and I go have conversations with them. You know, just because I don't happen to like a member of a couple, I don't exclude. I show a little respect to that member that I don't really get along with. I don't go out there and attack them or make them feel bad, but I don't completely cut the other part of the couple off because this person might have an issue.
Yeah, but do you invite one person into the house and tell the second person you have to stay on the porch? I mean, I just don't see how that.
And I just don't. I try to avoid any difficulties with them. I simply don't talk to them a lot. I say, how are you? How are you? I show them, you know, the courtesy one human to another. But if they don't want to be nice to me, doesn't mean I have to be nice to them. But I don't try to disrespect them if they come to their couple in my house. And then, like I said, I think what you did to Jessica, it really hurt her feelings bad. And I can understand because she did support you, Marvin. And the rest of them, I'm not trying to speak for the rest of them, but what I'm getting, what I'm hearing, what we're hearing is that everybody felt like you just had ignored them. The rest of the community, you ignored them, that you just cut out on your own as a maverick, and, you know, they didn't deserve any consideration. And I don't know if that's valid or not, because, Marvin, I'm not privy to your conversation with the other part of this group, but that's what I'm hearing. And if it's true, you know, maybe you need to explain your take, be patient, be compassionate, but explain your position as best you can. Like I said, nobody's asking you to bend over backward or degrade yourself. But what you're seeing is nobody's going to show up to your Hangouts, Marvin. You're turning everybody off. And I don't know if you realize you're doing that, and maybe you're triggering, dude. I don't know. Maybe you feel threatened. Do you feel, can I ask a question? And this was kind of speculated. Do you feel threatened by other males that come into the groups? I'm just wondering, do you feel threatened by them?
Oh, no, not at all. I mean, I enjoyed having joy in the Hangouts and you and some of the others. So no, I don't feel threatened like that.
Yeah, but all I'm asking you, and like I said, I understand you and Carolyn are going to be like gasoline on a fire with each other because Carolyn is very assertive in what her way she acts, which doesn't bother me. I mean, I don't get paranoid about it, but I do think you should open up a dialogue with Jessica, and at least give her a chance to air her grievances with you, and at least show that you care what she thinks, because ultimately, Marvin, she did nothing to you. She did absolutely nothing to you to cause you to do what. And like I said, maybe part of you or something's triggering you to act this way sometimes. I don't know, Marvin. I'm just trying to have, and I hope you've not taken it offensively. I'm just trying to have an adult conversation with you.
You bet, you bet, and I'll certainly take it into consideration. And Jessica has been the peacemaker in all this, and I've tried to support her. I know that her hangouts are private, and so I've tried to mention that and tried to steer people, because some people don't like to come to a hangout. I found that out in watching one of the videos earlier today or whatever, and so
Some
who
people have
knows?
that social anxiety, whether it's in person or over the internet. Hey, I get it. Marvin, if
Mhm.
I didn't keep my anonymity on here, I don't think I could do as much speaking as you do, being showing yourself on video. I'd be
Mhm.
very shy.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
I
like I
thank you
said,
for
just think
coming
about
in.
what I'm just saying is just think about what I'm saying to you,
Yeah.
and maybe find Marvin, life's too short to be at conflict with people all the time. It's
Hmm.
just too, believe me, I'm older than you. It's too damn short to be at conflict with either. And when you can find peace with others, you find healing in yourself. I truly believe that, Marvin. Maybe you don't, but that's what I believe. That once you,
Well, well, that's some good advice, Blue. I certainly appreciate you coming in here and being frank and sharing what you shared with me or whatever. I'll certainly take it into consideration. So,
once again, not trying to bum you out, brother, or take sides with anybody. I want to see the community, whether it's DID, across the mental health. I want everybody to try to work in unison and work with each other to make it better for all of us who do face the mental health issues out
mhm.
there. And we're not really, let's be honest, Marvin, we're not getting a lot of support from government, and there's not an overwhelming support in our communities. It's a daily battle.
Yeah,
And if we're
yeah,
going to waste all of our energy, isn't it kind of wasted energy if we're always battling with each other?
mhm. Yeah. We've got I have enough problems with the trolls, much less
Once again, I
people.
support you there, dude. I'm glad you did what you did, Marvin. But remember, they've put themselves on the radar with the FBI and now with other government agencies, just over their members putting child porn in these hangouts. Right there, that's a big no-no. Uh, that put this group on the government's radar, and they're going to be watching them.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Um,
if they don't think the NSA doesn't have the manpower and the equipment to watch them, they're stupid.
mhm. Oh yeah, I heard all kinds of security measures are being taken. Not just for the Fourth of July or whatever, but one of the big things they do is they do watch social media to see what's going on. So, but it's more than one. I'm afraid it's more than one website or whatever. So,
What I'd like to see with this group, Marvin, I'd like to find out what company is supporting their website. I did go looking for it and have them reported. I'm sure if there is a legitimate company that hosts boards out there or forums, if they find out, they'll shut them down. It's just a matter of finding out who's hosting this board.
Well, I didn't get a big chance to do some research, but evidently there was a website like this before that did get shut down because they got some people in there that were doing, like as you were saying, some very illegal things or whatever. So,
well, we can only hope they shut them down. Like I said, Martin, they may come in and take over your program. I'll jump off and let you continue on. Appreciate you taking the time to listen. You know, that's the first step in any conflict resolution is listening. And nobody can say you at least did listen to what I had to say.
well, I appreciate you coming in, Blue. Not everybody would have taken the time to have done that. So, so I thank you for coming in.
But you take care, Marvin. Stay dry, buddy.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, while we were talking, I made this thing public. So we'll see what happens. If you're on YouTube, you may want to refresh your page so that you can see the link. The link is posted in the description box. So that should get you in here. Got to check out the little gear icon. Okay. And as Blue was saying, there are other DID hangouts out there, and hopefully there's one that you can join or whatever. So my favorite word didn't used to be whatever. My favorite used to be so what. I guess we all have little catchwords we use when we don't have anything to say. And Blue was right on another point. I've never been officially diagnosed. The last time I saw a counselor was at the University of Georgia, and that's been over 25 years ago. And but I have worked with my inner children. I do believe I have something called subpersonalities, and so, and like I said earlier, that's kind of why I've drifted away from the DID label and just try to open it up for mental health. So. And if that means smaller hangouts for me, then that's what it means. If it means fewer hangouts for me, then that's what it means. So I gave it my best effort. And sometimes people have problems with people, and it's joy just best not to interact with them. So, well, okay. Uh, there's a viewer that says, I'm new here, been watching y'all to learn more about mental issues. Okay. Well, you can certainly see we've got mental issues. Uh, she says further, I enjoy the hangouts. I know people with DID. It's a complex thing for sure. That is true. That is true. So that's why I've tried to institute some rules. No judgment, no therapy, lots of respect. Try to stay away from the four-letter words. Try to use I statements and just kind of encourage and support one another. So that's been my main goal from day one. So, and while we're sitting here not talking about anything, there's a guy in England who I know of that he was accused of being a child molester on the internet or whatever, and it upset him so greatly that he tried to commit suicide, and luckily they rescued him in time. But the internet is for real, and it's forever. So, but was going to share Elvis with y'all, but I don't think I have permission, so I better not do that. That might get me in more trouble. So, okay, the question has been asked, how do I handle a DID relative that has a violent alter that wants a handgun? And I don't have an answer for you. I would call Adult Protective Services, I think. Or I would call, if you're in this country, you can call 411 and get some information on who to call or whatever. We're really not here to give advice in that regard or to do therapy. But it doesn't sound like you need to call 911 because the person doesn't have a handgun yet. So, okay, well, I think I'm going to wrap up. And before I wrap up, I want to tell you what my plans are for next week. And I think I had a good turnout on Friday. So what I think I'm going to do, I'll have a, what I'm leaning toward is having a hangout on Friday, like I did last week, and maybe have one on Sunday. We'll just have to wait and see how that goes. I will try to post a video on Wednesday to let everybody know. So, okay, the lady on I got some kind of a fly in here. The lady on YouTube says, I understand, thanks for the reply. Okay, and I didn't give your name or anything like that. So, okay, there's things to happen, and there's resources on the internet. If you're smart enough to find my Hangout, you're smart enough to find resources on the internet. Psych forums, I think, is a resource, and I think NAMI, the National Association for Mental Illness, has a very good website. So there are some resources on the internet, but there are other mental health hangouts out there. Del Channel is doing 2 a week or whatever. He's back up and running. He's solved his troll problems too, I think. So without further ado, I'm going to take this thing private, and thanks everyone for watching.